Hello, go-getters. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maleji Mawanga Matiba, aka The Go-Getter. So today I am coming with yet another book review. Today we will be going through the book titled 10 Steps to Property Wealth by Jason Lee. Property is generally very important. We all know that the wealthiest people have a stake in property. So what this shows us is all of us, at some point in our lives, it's very important to own a piece of property if we can. And I hope that most of us actually get to buy properties. So if you're gonna have property, the best thing that you should do is to learn about it, okay? You should learn as much as you can so that by the time you buy that property, you'll be good. You'll be having all the knowledge that you need in order for you to make that purchase effortlessly and make sure that it's a good, satisfactory purchase, okay? So we are going to get into this book and what it's about, the lessons I picked out. So he has 10 lessons, laid out, clear, straight to the point, well outlined, like you won't go wrong with this book. So I won't be outlining all the 10 lessons for you because I want you to purchase the book and read it if you have an interest. I'd highly recommend that. Even if you're going to buy your own house, if you want to be a property investor, you must. But if you're also going to buy your own house, please read what, they say about property. And this is just a simple book. It doesn't have a lot of pages. It's literally like 130. So it's a good purchase for you to learn about property. So I'm just going to be pointing out 5 lessons that I learned from this incredible book. So the first thing that stood out for me is how, he didn't just get into, what this property game is about. I mean, as an expert at this point, he'd just be like, don't waste your time. Do 1, 2, 3, do 1, 2, 3, and that's it. But he gave a background, of how he started, learning that he started the property industry while he was at a deficit. Like he had loans, okay, he had credit that he first had to clear out and work on, before he could actually start into his property journey. I'm not saying he settled the loans first. I'm just saying for him to start in this property journey, he wasn't in a great financial, position with all the extra cash that he would need in order to, put down the deposit and all that. But he started from a place where he was in loans and he still went ahead to get, into the space and actually make a lot of money from it. So he gives advice, for everybody. You can start at whatever age, wherever you are, whatever financial position that you're in. And he just gives us, that thing, now you can also make it. So I love the tips that he gave, especially as you're a young person, also in the working industry. He gives tips on that, on how you can go about it, which was just great. I was like, I'm going to take that. I am going to take that lesson and practice it, okay? So yes, moving on to lesson number 2 is he talks about the return on time. So many times we hear people talking about return on investment, return on this, but he talks about the return on time and the importance of it. I think generally that's how we should actually look at it as well. Look at the return on time. So he gives an example where, if you are in the working environment, you would like normally make 25, let's say you make 25 grand a month net. Yeah, I think that's a good amount, given that in South Africa the average amount that people get is literally like less than, it's between 10,000 and 15,000. Like a lot of South Africans, I forgot where I read the stats from, but it's one of the newspapers. So 25K, you're doing pretty well, So he breaks it down to say that means that for every hour in your working space, you are making 156,000. So that's not counting like time to prepare for work and all the overtime that you work with never claim. It's just referring to like in a normal perfect world, okay? So, and he's like, in the property space, like I make a profit of, let me say, it's a buy and sell deal, right? And obviously it'll be different. Don't be that person who takes examples and blows them out of proportion. He's just giving an example to say, if he's doing a deal and he sells it over a period of 6 months, he will only go to check up on it like 2 hours a week. You know, while you are working 40 hours, he'll check it out 2 hours a week. However, when he sells it and he makes 100 and something profit in, you know, for the sale of that property, he literally is making 2,800 and something per hour. So I'm just like fascinated. I'm like, is there something we're not doing right? Like, maybe we need to look at return on time. Maybe it's time to look at things a little bit differently, you know? So he speaks about, you know, making sure that we are prioritizing, spending our time well. He's giving us tips on how we can create more time in order for us to learn, you know, different lessons so that we make better use of our time. And usually when you make better use of your time, you can actually make more money because you are using your time very, very well. He gives time saving tips as well. You guys know I love time, I love numbers, accounting, maths, you know, everything like that, the smart things. So I was really, you know, fascinated by that concept of return on time and just changing my perspective a little bit to be like, what am I getting out of the time that I used? Moving on to lesson number 3 that stood out, you know, he spoke about the team that you need to like almost like create for yourself in order for you to like invest in the property industry, or people you just need to know or you can work with in order to make sure that you're propelling within this property game. And he breaks down who they are, what are their duties, how are they there to help you, how you can find them, you know, and how you can actually utilize their particular skills. I know for sure I don't got friends who are architects. If you're an architect, hi to you. Say hi in my DMs. We need to go out for lunch because we need to talk about that wealth creation strategy, babes. So he also talks about people who are builders. You know, coming from where I'm from, right? Guys, trying to find a good builders are there, no doubt. But the level of professionalism that is there, honey, you'll literally get a headache. You'll literally get a headache. You are dealing with, ooh, child. Maybe we should get, you know, contractors, or maybe our people should formalize their institution because builders are a problem, guys. Builders are a problem. But yeah, that's a team of people you need to know. And I think it'd be great to actually meet somebody who went to school to study like bricklaying and all those, the actual construction of the house, not necessarily like the civil engineers and the architects and all those people. Just somebody who like you are sure and they can provide proof. That would be amazing. If you know somebody like that, hook me up. Let me know. Where do they do it? How do they do it? Get in contact with me, you know? That would be great. So yes, that was actually very cool to learn. Moving on to lesson number 4, funding. You know, property, yeah, it requires some capital to get started in that industry. However, it doesn't have to be your capital. This is what I enjoyed about reading. He's actually like, property investing is for us, the poor people, the people who ain't got no money. This is your game because you can access so much funding in relation to property from the banks. He doesn't just say banks, guys. He breaks it down so well to say what are the things that they need, what are the things that they're looking at, how you should prepare yourself, what are the documents that you will need, you know, how you should negotiate your interest. Like the breakdown level is so cool. He also moves on to talk about, you know, seller financing, wherein you can actually, you know, the loan is no longer from like the bank, but you buy that property on credit like from the seller themselves. So that was a very interesting concept that I never knew before, you know. I never really got into a lot of detail about it until I just learned about it recently, and this just broke it down so well. So he spoke about that, and he did say that he's expanded more into the topic in some of his books. I think the first one or the second one, Making Money Out of Property in South Africa. I think that should be the book. So I'm looking forward to reading about that, because we want to know about the coin, because property needs some coin. So we need an investor or two. We need, to make sure that right Nemali, okay? Right Nemali, guys. And then moving on to the lesson number 5, tip number 5 that I actually like is he tells you how you can actually make money out of property. Number 1 myth: just because you are buying property doesn't mean you're going to make money from it, okay? That's why we learn, that's why we go out to get information. It is not automatic, although property is an appreciating asset and all those, there are just so many things that can also go wrong, so it's very important that you really educate yourself. So you can make money in property through 2 ways, right? First one is, appreciation of its price. As I said, property is an appreciating asset over time. It gains value. It's very rare for property to lose value. It just depends on the developments in the area and different things like the condition, how you take care of your place. But property is an appreciating asset. Number 2, you can rent it out and make rental income. But however, you need to make sure that your rental income exceeds the amount of loan repayments that you need to make. So he just gets into that and how you can make sure that you're covering your monthly installments. You are making sure that you are decreasing the interest. He's coming up with very strategic ways to decrease the amount of interest, which can save you like 50,000 to 100,000, in interest. I think it's worth a read. I mean, who can give you 50 to 100,000? Why not give it to yourself through using smart ways, for you to pay off, things like your interest. He gets into like the different types of properties to buy, which ones are based, which ones are not. Should you be buying land and what goes into that? It's just full package, guys. For me, full package. How to manage your tenants, how to do the background checks, how to get agents to help you manage the tenant. There's just a wealth of information in terms of how you can go about in this property investing game. Be it you just want to buy, he actually has like breakdowns of the things that are required for you to actually make a deal with the seller on the things that should be there, what you should take care of, so that you don't buy a house that looks good and then in 3 months, in 3 years, there's a crack and it's falling down, So he's just delivering. Like, I'm very impressed with this book. I am very impressed. So I'm just going to get into the things that I loved about this book. Can we talk about the quality of the paper in this book? I literally almost felt like, did I just go 2 pages like ahead? I'm like, the quality. That's why physical copies be doing the things, because the quality of this paper is amazing. I'm making notes. I'm just like, it's a good book. Now, he also makes like blurbs. It's almost like quotes. Let me find one for you. And you're going to see what I write. I write in my books. I'm not planning to give them to nobody, okay? Maybe my grandkids or something like that. So, there's like a bit of a blurb where he like pulls out like the most important thing that stood out or within a certain page. I really enjoyed that because I didn't have to like highlight or underline too much. I'm like, that's already there. So when I go back to the book, I just like look at the main points and look at the main things when I need to make the things happen, right? So I really like that. Although some pages they were not there, I'm like, you should have hired me to do it for you. But I was happy with this book, man. I was happy with this book. He's teaching us how to make money out of property. I'm just impressed. The material that is here as well, the breakdowns, guys, like, he actually even has like some contracts that are already set out and outlined for you right here in this book. He sends links to his website, which has practical information. You can also join his website for a fixed fee. I think it was 600 and something per year. To get this level of information. Come on. This is value for money. And then, he gets into like it's an all-rounder property book. I think I will not finish if I start, but he is that uncle. I felt that touch. He was like, my niece, come here, let me show you how these things are done. Like, young lady, come closer, let me show you how this monies are made with this property game. So I really enjoyed the book. I'd highly recommend it. And let's get this property, guys. Let's buy some property, guys. Like, if the rich people are doing it, why are we not? Why are we not? So that we can also have some coins and have some land to our names, okay? So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this book review. Please do go ahead and subscribe. Click on the notification bell. We are going strong with posting on a weekly basis every Sunday. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So thank you so much. Do share what you learned from, the property game. Are you interested in learning more about property? I can link you guys with a lot of information in relation to that, because your girl loves property, so I have a lot of information as I'm in that space. Yes, that space is my space, guys. So do go ahead, comment any questions that you have. If I can't answer, I'll get an expert to also answer, because people in this industry, honey. So yes, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share this video as well, and until the next video or book review, I love you guys. Mwah.